Welcome to Access Training Video Lesson 1. In today's video, we will be covering the following topics. We will talk about what is an access database, creating an access database, what is the ribbon, and navigating the access environment. Okay, we're going to start at the Windows desktop, and we're going to come down and we're going to click the search, or we can click the start button. Alright, but we're going to do the search, and in here we're going to start typing access, and you notice when it pops up, access will come. So we're going to click and hit enter, and it will open. And you're going to notice that if it's the first time you've opened it, you will not have anything in the recent area. Now, the recent area will keep track of any databases that you've created that you're working on. You can also pin those databases in order to gain faster access to them. But as we're in our environment, you can see there's a blank database, and then there's some database templates already created for us. Alright, from this screen you're going to see the home window, the new, and the open. So if you already have an access database created, you may want to click the open to go out to retrieve it. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a blank one. And when I go to create a blank one, it's going to automatically by default call it database 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to browse my computer, and I'm going to be working by default. It's going to put it in documents, but I am going to be working from my F drive, and I have a folder created there. And I have some folders already created. I'm going to go to lesson 1, and I'm going to call my first access database, and I typed a name in here, and I'm going to call it lesson 1 video training. At that point I'm going to tell it OK, and the database still has not been created until I click the create button. The first topic that we wanted to cover is what is an access database. And an access database is a product that was originally packaged in the early 90s in the Microsoft Office. And it is for us to organize our data. All right. And what I mean by that is we start to create what are called tables, and we put information in the table. That table then can be asked questions, which are called queries. We can sort the data, and we can do many different other functions to that data. Okay, so we've already created the access database. We went out to the beginning and told it new. All right, so the next thing we want to look at is the ribbon. And the ribbon replaced the menu. It used to be you would click on home and a drop-down menu would come and you would select what you wanted. Now what's happening here now is you have this ribbon, which are graphical icons that will allow you to do different things to the objects that you're working with. Alright, now by default when you first create a database, it creates table 1. Alright, now we could take table 1 and modify it, alright, or we can delete it or whatever we want to do. But getting back to the ribbon, we have a home, which will do a lot of our formatting. Alright, we could do the create, where we could create tables, queries, which are questions to our database. Forms are ways that we create interactive windows are objects that we can put the information in. And then we have our report wizard. So how do we create our report area? And each one of these have different types of design, all right, or ways to create. Now, the next part is the external data. External data will allow us to import different types of objects or files or documents. And you can see that, just a real quick look, we can import an access spreadsheet. We can do a text file. We could do a word merge. Or we can create a new data source. Database tools are next. And this is where we can compact or repair our database, show the relationships, which we'll get into later on. And then one of our last tabs is help. All right, and this is where we're going to get some help. We can look at some training, what's new, just general questions. Now, I'm going to click back to home real quick, and we're going to concentrate a little bit more on home here in a second. But I wanted to show you that when there is a table created here, we get the table filled and the table. These aren't always there, but they'll come up in red. So if we were doing a report, we might get something different. So I'm going to stay clicked on home. And when we're sitting here at home, all right, you're going to see that we have some things already highlighted, like the font size, color, bold, whatever. We have a total, but we also have the view. And inside this area of the view is, if we click on it, we hit the down arrow, you're going to get data sheet view, which we're in, or design view. And I'm just going to click on them just to show you the difference. Now, it's going to want us to save the table the first time we do this. So we're going to call it Lesson 1 Table. And we'll tell it OK. And when we're in here, it gives us a whole different view. All right, our next video, we're going to concentrate on this view right here. This is where our next video is going to be. So this is going to be the end of video 1.